everybody, it's another Keto 101 with Yogi, and today I'm going to highlight a specific food. There's a lot of questions about peanuts and peanut butter, whether or not they're keto. Well, technically, generally legumes, which is what a peanut is, it's not a nut, it's actually a type of legume like a bean. Most of those are very high in carbs, so they don't exactly fit within the keto ratio. However, peanuts themselves are actually very high in fat. So technically, the fat levels of a peanut could be okay in a ketogenic diet. The reason why that peanuts are often eschewed in a keto diet is not necessarily because of their fat content, but because of other health issues associated with peanuts. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about some of the health benefits of a peanut and peanut butter, which is the thing that everybody seems to want to have access to or craves. But I'm also going to talk about the health drawbacks. And the bottom line of the peanut is it's going to be up to you whether or not it's something that you want to consume. So first of all, a peanut is, when it's grown naturally and it's not processed in peanut butter in a lot of commercial processing, it can have some fairly decent health benefits. The problem with peanut butter is they often use trans fats to stabilize the peanut butter so it doesn't need to be mixing. So when you open a jar of peanut butter and you look at it and it's creamy, maybe it has some nuts in there, but it's creamy, you don't have to stir it or anything. They've added the trans fats to it to stabilize it. The problem with the trans fats are the fact that they actually create an inflammation response in your body. They are highly oxidized oils. They're usually derived, what they do to make trans fats is they take a vegetable oil where they have chemically extracted it from a source like rapeseed, which is another word for canola, soybeans, something like that. They've chemically extracted. This oil is very rancid, very oxidized. Before they add chemical deodorants to it, it stinks to high heaven. They use very caustic chemicals to extract it. Then they take that oil to make it solid at room temperature and able to use for like frying and things without burning up too much. They bombard it with hydrogen molecules, and they bond extra hydrogen molecules to the fat molecules in order to make it that's why they call hydrogenated oil. Now the problem with these trans fats is our body doesn't really recognize them as food. They're alien substances to our body. They're technically not food, and they're full of toxic chemicals. They will stimulate LDL responses in your body. They will raise LDL up. They contribute to plaque buildup in the arteries, and they are just a very nasty oil to consume. Most commercial peanut butters contain this oil. Now, many companies are going to natural peanut butter, and you'll see those because the oil is often separated and it's sitting on top. You still have to be careful because peanut oil can oxidize, so it may not be the healthiest oil. Now, let's talk about the fat breakdown. Out of the legumes, peanuts are actually very high in fat, and they actually can have some beneficial fat that like high oleic acid in there, which is attributes to helping to lower cholesterol. It is an antioxidant, so it helps clear out toxins out of your body. So that's a positive for it. But it also contains high amounts of omega-6, which a lot of research shows that omega-6 can increase inflammation in your body, especially if you already have an injury. Omega-6 is an essential oil. You do need it because that inflammation helps you heal certain things, but when you get too much out of ratio of omega-3 and omega-6, then there could be an issue with too much inflammation in your body. So overly consuming omega-6 is where the health issues come into play. So it has both good oil and both, depending on what's going on in your body, possibly a bad oil. It is rich in a lot of nutrients. There's potassium, there's B6, magnesium, there's biotin, there is zinc, selenium, copper, manganese, folate, and vitamin E. But because it's a legume, peanuts also are very rich in anti-nutrients, and these are compounds which will actually block the body from absorbing nutrients from the plant foods that you eat. And without processing the peanuts in a certain way, these anti-nutrients can actually prevent your body from taking advantage of the vitamins and the minerals that are available in the peanut butter. So if you sprout the peanuts, you can actually get rid of a lot of the anti-nutrients. If you cook the peanuts in certain ways, you can remove some of the antioxidants, but there's still quite a bit in there. Peanuts are very high in protein, one of the higher protein content of most plant products. However, that protein is not a complete amino chain, so you would actually have to combine peanuts with other plants in order to get a complete amino chain. And the protein available from plants isn't as bioavailable as protein from meat, so it's actually harder for your body to process and use. So it's a mixed bag, so to speak. Peanuts do have a pretty decent amount of resveratrol in there, and the research on the resveratrol suggests that it might possibly help with heart disease. However, most of the models of resveratrol, and resveratrol is the same compound that they say red wine is in red wine that they say helps with heart disease. However, in order for the human being to achieve the benefits from resveratrol, research shows that you have to consume massive quantities of it in order to get any kind of benefits. So it's really on the fence of whether or not that it is actually helpful for you. And the research is a little shaky on that, and a lot of the research done saying that resveratrol is healthy for you has actually been done by the wine industry as part of a promoting campaign to sell their products. So one big negative that is kind of got the research companies on edge about peanut butter's health is actually the fact that the peanuts grow underground, and they grow with this mold called aspergillus. And aspergillus doesn't have immediate toxic effects. It actually produces a toxin called aflatoxin toxins, and it doesn't have immediate effects, but it has accumulative effects in the body. So it's been linked with certain types of cancer, heart disease, and other types of things in human beings and rat studies. When peanuts are consumed consistently through a given period of time. So the research, again, little iffy on that, not quite solid evidence, but there is a lot of evidence pointing to the aflatoxins creating some health issues in human beings. So peanuts, it's a 50-50 thing. They have some things that benefit human beings, but they have a lot of things that don't. a lot of people on a keto diet, one of their goals is to lower inflammation in the body so that their body can reset, and certain processes like the insulin levels can stabilize, and blood sugars can stabilize. And having a lot of omega-3 in the body can actually prevent that from happening, and it can prevent you from healing yourself from a metabolic standpoint. So that is why a lot of people on the keto diet say no peanuts. And it's not necessarily because of the fat content or the nutrition content. It's because of that inflammatory content and of the omega-6 and the aflatoxins that are available, that are prevalent in peanuts because of the way they grow. All right, everybody. This has been another Keto 101 with Yogi. Peanuts. Hope it's helpful. Again, it's your choice of whether or not you want to consume them. I definitely would not make peanuts, in my book, a regular thing to eat. But every once in a while, I might have something that's peanut because I do enjoy it. But it's definitely not a common food. So it is, again, something that you choose. All right, have a good one.